3 runners next week, James. The first of those 3 is Miss Milner in the mares race. We all remember how impressive she was last year in the Pretemps. How is she and what are the expectations?
She's in great form, Dave. Couldn't be happy with her preparation. Every day has been a good day since, we'll say, Christmas. Christmas came too soon after Newbury. So, we had a word with Jim about, what would be best. And Cheltenham obviously had to be her #1 target, being a festival winner last year. So we decided that avoiding Christmas in the Dublin Festival was the best prep for her. Newbury, don't like going on about too much, but I'd say she performed, we'll say, on the day without having the preparation that she should have had, on a mistake on my own behalf, because Limerick, when she won first time up, she wasn't 100% fit, and the ground turned plenty soft in the day, and she had to work much harder. She got upset before the race and she had to work much harder than she should have had to win, and I'd say it took a bit out of her. And you were always then going to Newbury kind of, that little bit worried that Limerick had taken too much. I think that was maybe her reason for the day. I think she's much better than that. She obviously came to herself. Like, if you look at her form last year, she was, only 4th in the qualifier in Leopardstown at Christmas. And she was a different mare at the festival. And we would be very happy with where she is now. I think she loves it over there. 2 runs there. She was only beaten in a photo in the November meeting and then bolted up in the festival last year. So I'm confident of a big run.
The break between our races, is that any sort of a concern for you?
No, not at all. No, she won first time up last year at the Galway Festival. You might as well say she was from Christmas to March last year, because she fell at the Dublin Festival. She had no race. So no, I'd say it's a plus. She's easy to get fit. She's in good nick, loves the place. Drying ground will be a massive plus. I hope the rain stays away, and I think if it stays drying, that increases her chances.
Move on to your second runner of the week. Second runner on day 1 is HMS Seahorse. He's had 3 runs for you, and he's improved along those runs, where he was 3rd between Pied Piper and Babon in Punchestown. Then he was 2nd to the Tide Turns. Then he was an impressive winner in Fairyhouse the last day. You gotta love this horse, the way his progression in his 3 runs.
You would. We love him here, yeah. If things stay right with him, he's going to be a right little dual purpose horse, because he's got a fairish rate, I think about 86 in the flat out of Ballydoyle, and was unlucky a few days, and that was over a mile and 1 maybe. And he's proven now that he stays. He's also proven that he's handled soft ground, but we believe he'll be better on better ground. He's a good action. He's a small horse who touch wood, jumps great. But you'd love his attitude. You'd love the way he does things. His form was good. His form was solid. Again, a good preparation. He's bouncing. And drying ground is another big plus. If he gets luck in running, obviously in a tight field handicap, that's what you need. But all things been as the normal, as everyone needs luck in running. But if he gets that and gets to run the race, I think he'll be bang there.
Everybody always wants a lighter weight, James, but all in all, you have to be happy with his mark of what he's got for the Boodles.
Yeah, well, sure, it's a tight one. You have to be careful about getting in as well. You can wish for being too low and then not get in. So you don't want that either. So no, you'd be happy out with everything. If you get the run of the race now, and his work is being good and he's in good form, he's a solid horse. I think he's a lot of things going for him in the race. We've won it before a long time ago. It was our first festival winner, Dabaroon, and I think he ticks a lot of boxes for the race. And if he gets the run of it and things go well, and I know Brian quietly fancies him as well.
Last runner, day 2, is Joy Machine. Came from Dennis Murphy's stable after falling in a point to points. You bought him then. He was 2nd to Facile Vega on his first run for yourselves in a bumper at Leopardstown at Christmas, and then was visually probably he won a lot easier than what it looked in Navan. And he's a horse as well who's definitely improving as well.
He is. Well, look, for starters anyway, Dennis Murphy had told me all along before he ever ran that he was a lovely horse, and his work was good. And Dennis was right, and that's why, even though he fell a long ways out in Punchestown, that's why I was keen to get it done, because what Dennis would tell you normally be fairly close to what you'd be hoping to be. Good horse, tough horse. I was impressed the last day in Navan. I think so was Barry, in the sense that he had traffic problems there. It wasn't a truly run race, and everyone was trying to get a small patch of ground over near the wings of the hurdles. and he stopped twice in holding, tiring ground. And you get stopped twice in the hill in Navan, it's not easy. And then as soon as he got the gap, he was gone through it. He's a good horse. He's a horse looking forward to the next season. Good tough sort. I think the bumper division looks particularly strong. Like, you know, Facile Vega with a £7 claim, and he beat us well at Christmas, so we've a big mountain to climb to turn it around with him. But you never know in racing. Facile Vega has to turn up and be the same horse that he was in Christmas, and maybe he'll be better. And there's other good horses at Willys as well, and there's American Mike, and you could talk about it till cows come home, and you mightn't even name the winner. But all we can do is concentrate on our own horse. He's a good tough sort. I think the hustle and bustle of the race and all those kind of things that you might worry about for another horse will have no issue for him. I don't think travelling or anything else, he doesn't care. So, you know, again, looking, running and things go well for him, I think he can run a big race.
Two other horses, they're your Cheltenham runners, two other horses that were entered for Cheltenham, but you're deciding to take different routes with those. We'll start with Daily Present, another recruit from the point-to-point field. This is a very exciting horse, James, and what's his plan, seeing is now he's not going to Cheltenham?
Very likeable horse. The reason we were never keen for him really to go to Cheltenham, we stuck him in just to give ourselves plan B if it had to, option B if it had to work out that way. But his horse is going to improve with time. He's a narrow, light framed horse, but he's improving all the time. Lacked experience to go to Cheltenham, so staying at home. So hopefully that will reap the benefits by staying at home for tomorrow. I hope the ground doesn't get too testing in Navan, because even though he has the action of a soft ground horse and it's not an issue, I just hope over 3 miles that he's strong enough for a test of stamina yet. But he is a very, very likeable sort who will be a better chaser, I think. But that's not to say that there's a nice hurdle race in him first, but a very likeable sort, yeah. And
depending obviously what happens tomorrow, we'll hopefully see him in one of the Irish festivals, the Easter or the Punchdown Festival before the end of the season.
That's it. I mean, he could have went to the Albert Bartlett and ran a good race, but we'd rather win something at home than just run well over there. And he would finish his season, I'd imagine, as well. So no, we'll go to Navan tomorrow, please God. We'll see how we get on there, and then we'll look at Fairyhouse and Punchdown.
Sandor Clegane, you decided not to go to Cheltenham with him, and he ran a Nace last week. Was his plan going forward? He'll surely have another run before the season finishes.
Yeah, well, hopefully he will. Yeah, we'll see. It'll depend on ground. He won't be risked on drying spring ground or water ground. There'll want to be a dig in it, and if there is, he will either run in the winner's bumper in Fairyhouse at Easter on Easter Monday, or he has two options in Punchestown. He's the champion bumper and the winner's bumper in Punchestown. But we'll see. He's had a week off for Leopardstown there now, and he's schooling away over hurls, so he's already in preparation for going jumping next year. That's why he's training for the next few weeks to have him ready for the autumn, because he's a big, fine, scopy horse. He's very exciting horse. He's I think like a jump will improve him, and I think from a hurdle to a fence, I think he'll improve again. But a very exciting sort who we need to be careful what we do.
Good. Well, very best luck next week.
Thank you.